So we back down here at this cemetery, the historical Lamont Henderson Cemetery. If you watch that first video the other day, you seen we couldn't get in there. It was just too thick. So I got to thinking about that when I got home. And there's another cemetery right beside it that looks like it might be a little thinner in the back. So there's a bunch of big trees, kind of gives a canopy. So we're gonna try to slip in from that way and see if we can get in from the back and make it a little easier. I actually did some research that night when I got home. This cemetery was cleared in 2004. There's some pictures on findagrave.com. I'm gonna patch some of them in with it. But today, I got my son and son-in-law down here with me. We're gonna ease up in here and see if we can find some of them. Let's get in there and see what's going on. Take a little trip. So based off of the Find a Grave, it said a lot of them were on the west side. We've come in from the back side where it appears to be a little thinner. And we're working our way over to the west side to see if we can find some headstones. And it is thick. Give you a look right here what we're walking through. And we're on the back side of a pond. We're on the back side of a pond over there. And what looks within the last couple of years to have been cleared behind it. Maybe we can find some graves in here. They're supposed to be here, according to findagrave.com. If you didn't watch the video the other day where I tried to come in through the front side, you really should. Now Seth and Jason say they see some wrought iron fence up here. Let's go check that out. From what I could find online, the earliest grave was during the 1850s, and the newest grave I could find was like 1932 or 34. And that's a wrought iron fence. Let's ease up here. Look at that. You would never know that was here from the road. And luckily, unlike a lot of them, it's abandoned. There are no trees growing through it, but there are vines everywhere. There's the headstone. Let's see if we can get over and figure out what it's saying. While Seth's trying to get some of this stuff removed, where we can get in there and read that headstone, Jason's noticed. Oh, this is the beady one I told you. Look at that. That is super cool. The gate has been left open. So we got it opened up a little bit here so that we can see what we're looking at. Apparently this is Beatty family. Look at that gate. Still got the latch on it. How cool is that? He even still got the latch on. Here's a little bit of damage. Top bars missing. Looks like it's been pushed to the ground. Maybe a tree falling on it. There may be others in here, but the only one I can see is this beady. Let's get up here closer.
Andrew Decatur Beatty. Born September 3, 1816. Died September 2, 1884. He was 67 years old. Epitaph reads, "No pains, no griefs, no anxious fears can reach our Father sleeping here."
Well, we'll have to compare it to what they had pictures of in the first time they ever come in here. To be able to figure out what it says, we'll do that though. Check that out. And you see what we're surrounded by. There's supposed to be other graves here. So we're gonna back up. I'll get you a couple shots of this one. And then we're gonna get on forward and see what else we can find. All right, Seth's over here. He's found something else, but I can see Right through there, that looks like a headstone. Let's see if we can bypass rattlesnakes and the water moccasins and make it over there where C.S.A is. Oh, look at there. I see a short stone over there. There's another wrought iron fence.
There's old graves back there.
Man, check that out. Give you a little pan of the environment we're standing in. Just so you got an idea. The graves we just come from with the Beatty headstone are right through there. Let me see if I can zoom you. Let me see if I can zoom you in where you know about how far we are from them. That's where the Beatty headstone was. And we came in from straight back there.
Little Barry Andrew Cater Anderson. Born February 25, 1833. Died February 23, 1870. He was 36 years old. Epitaph reads, "You are not dead to us, but as a bright star unseen. We hold that you are ever near, though death intrudes between."
A lot of these we're not going to be able to read them, but seeing how in the early 2000s somebody come in and cleaned them and cleaned this up one time and photographed it, we will be able to figure out who's who based off of that. And I'll patch them into this video. And most of that wrought iron fence is damaged or gone, just these two ends. Now you can see there's probably some other flat stones. You can see another piece of the wrought iron post right out there. So we know that at one time this fence went on. So there are probably some other graves here. Now look here, this one's sunk. You see that? It might be hard to tell on that camera. There's two graves here. This one is sunk in. That grave has collapsed on itself. Can you see that? Right, now there's a headstone over there that's toppled. And here's one. Trying to look for a snake too. Trying to get you a different angle here where you can see what I'm talking about. That means that either there wasn't a coffin or the coffin is done rotted and collapsed. That's why that hole's there.
Is that what that means?
Yep. That will eventually fall over.
Well, that one fell over.
As I say, you can look on them here. That's an Anderson. B.A.C. Anderson. It says. They're hard to read. Very hard to read. We're on the back side of this one now. Seth has seen some more headstones over here.
There's about 5 or 6 of them.
Well, maybe you made the right choice. And look at them two. They just alike. That one's about to fall over. Yeah, I see the smaller one there.
Yeah, look at that. There's one.
Damn, there's another one over there. There.
There.
Look, there's one fell over there. Let's see. This one's got a brick under the side of it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, it's been lifted. Just in reference, the spot we're standing in here now, there's about 8, 10, maybe 12 graves here. We found the one over there, and the original one we found, the Beatty one, is over there. And the federal road that comes in is in that direction.
The black snake.
Said he found a snake in a tree.
I did.
Curled up on the top of that tree right there.
Curled up in the top
You
of the
sure it's a
tree.
black snake, not a moccasin? Because they can jump now.
That's a black snake. I know a black snake.
Yep. He's laying right there. Can you see
He's
him?
sunning. Well, he's done.
Oh.
There's another one.
Uh-oh. Is he still there?
Yeah, they both still here.
So we're abandoning this spot because we done found 2 snakes laying in the tree. We're going to a different part. We done found some snakes in some trees, more than one. I ain't cool with that. It's bad enough to have to look at them on the ground.
But a limb could have knocked it over, couldn't it?
It could have, but with it being tilted, it wouldn't have took much because the weight would have already been shifted.
John P. Deere.
Yep, John P. Deere. Alright, we easing on in here a little deeper. Here's an end plate, and down through there is the head plate. Let's ease it and get a little closer look.
Can you see the date on that one?
I doubt it. Usually these it was posted on with a piece of paper or a piece of wood originally. It would have had a piece of wood mounted in it and carded.
That's long gone. You think?
Yep. And there's the foot plate. And there's the foot plate for it. Like I told you, the earliest I could find anything in here was 2004 where they'd come in and done something. May have been something afterwards, but you can see where these trees, these oaks, has fell and plumb rotted to pieces out here through the graves. It's been at least 18, 20 years since anybody's messed with this cemetery.
2 headstones out there.
It looks like a flat one over there to the side, or is it just? Okay, I see them. 1, 2. See how that's sinking? There's a foot marker down there. It's a grave. Now, that one's sitting right by it and the algae on top. I would bet that was already broke in 2004 or so when they was in here. And they just leaned it up against it. And here's one. And Seth has seen a couple more over here somewhere we're gonna head to. A lot of sunk in places out here. Another headstone over here that's turned over. Let's see if we can get over there and get us a look at it. After he's done stirred it.
1854 to 1909.
See the Mason sign on the top?
Mm-hmm.
Just for informational purposes, we're on the west side of the cemetery. And if you look hard right there, you can see the chain link fence on the west side, right out there.
Yeah, right there too.
They done found some more headstones. Look, here's another sunk in spot.
I wonder if that's her husband back there.
And that's about the length of a body right there. Sunk in.
But look, it looks like a newer history.
Look, there's another sunk in spot.
Yeah.
Right there. And it's in the vicinity of these graves and laying the same way.
There's another one out there too, but it's laying out
So
there.
these could be unmarked graves.
I
Right?
guarantee you that's what they are. The length of a body, the width of what would have been, it collapsed underneath.
Somebody replaced that one.
I bet you. And it could have been in 2004 when they was in here cleaning up, because that's when most of the pictures was dated that was on Find a Grave. Right by the sunken one. What'd you find?
All bricks in a body shape. Literally.
Damn sure is.
That's somebody underneath that.
Be careful, that's a good place for a ground raptor bed. Damn sure is. That is super cool. I see it. I see what you're talking about. I've seen them fancy done. I ain't seen it like just piled like that, but that's what it is. Might be hard to see on camera, but that's a grave with
right
bricks on the top.
Here.
Yep, with them bricks all right there, just piled on top of each other.
The body.
It's the size of a body, and mounded up like a grave. And it's right next to this sunk in.
Man, I could be wrong.
Right next to this sunk in spot. No, you ain't wrong. You see what was here. Kind of strange though that they would go through the trouble to put a historical marker by the road at a place that you know has a chain link fence across the front that's been there forever, and then just let it grow up like this. That seems crazy. Anybody know why? We located right up here in Lamont, Florida, at the historic Lamont Henderson Cemetery. Best as I can tell, about 2004 was the last time any cleaning was done and restoration. And they made a page on findagrave.com. One last little view of this beady one here. It's in pretty decent shape. Only negative on something like that is that old rotted tree is leaning this way. Any day it's gonna fall. And there's a pretty good chance it's gonna crush that wrought iron fence and that headstone. Nature does reclaim itself. You see it. See the headstones across there? Just kind of a last thought before we leave. Kind of cool to know that now that we cleared that out over just that one, for the first time in about 20 years, it's getting a little bit of light. But you can bet it won't be but a couple seasons. It'll be growed right back up. If that tree don't mash it first. There you go, we found some. That's pretty neat. You know, the question that I asked myself, right across the road here, you see here we have the Walker Cemetery, perfectly kept. Then right down the road here, we have the Mount Olive Cemetery, which is perfectly kept. So it makes you just wonder, why has this been let go? When I went home after I found it the other night, as I told you, I'd done the research, and it was cleaned up in 2004. You could see it in the pictures that I patched in that come off of findagrave.com. So why twice in history has it just been abandoned when there's two perfectly kept ones next to it? I don't know. It is sure in poor shape now. Anyhow, it is what it is. History just kind of erases itself, but it's cool that we got to look at that. So that's pretty neat. If you know some history on this up here in Lamont, let me know. I'm curious why it would have been just let go like that with two perfectly kept ones beside it, but yet it's got a historical sign. I appreciate y'all joining me, and I'll see you on the next, and we all know we might even be back down there on some of them old railroad crossings. You'll never know.